My girlfriend is secretly visiting my abusive parents with our son and doesn't understand why this upsets me. We had a huge fight, and I don't know what to do now. I didn't have an easy time growing up. My childhood was so messed up that I sort of just put it all in a mental box and left it at that. Needless to say, I left my parents as soon as I could, then went no contact and haven't seen them since. There are several reasons I went no contact, and she seemed understanding enough when I told her that I didn't even want to tell my parents about their grandson. I don't want my son around these people. I don't want my girlfriend around these people, and above all, I would never leave any child alone around these people. My girlfriend doesn't know exactly what my father did to me and my sister, but I also feel like she doesn't have to know in order to respect my wishes. Yesterday, my sister texted me a picture of our parents' dog. In the background were my son's shoes. Our mother uploaded it on Facebook, where I have them blocked, but my sister recognized the shoes and was mainly concerned about them even having a kid over. My girlfriend and I both work, she only part-time, but we always have someone to watch our child, either my sister or my girlfriend's family. So it's not like she had to bring him there to have someone watch him. This was a deliberate decision that she should have made with me. I talked to my son about it, and it turns out he's been there several times unsupervised, alone with my father. Apparently nothing happened, but I was understandably angry and confronted my girlfriend as soon as she got home, which of course led to a huge fight. She left crying and went to her parents' house, and later her mother came to pick up my son, which I refused. That led to a fight with her mom too. My girlfriend texted me asking to talk later today. I know I can't keep my son from her, and I also don't want to, but I don't want to go into our conversation unprepared, so any advice is welcome. I also feel betrayed and still very angry, and I'm honestly ready to break up over this. But my son is very upset and anxious because he heard our fight, and I'm just at a complete loss and don't know how to handle this. Update 1. First of all, thank you for all the comments and input. I didn't feel like I could even think when I made my initial post, so it was good getting different perspectives. I did write that my girlfriend and I would talk the same day I posted, but we didn't because I needed to sort myself out, and I think she did too. She's been avoiding me ever since and requested we talk at her parents' place, but I didn't want that, so we didn't talk until yesterday while my son was at my sister's. Apparently, in September last year, my mother reached out to my girlfriend on Facebook asking how me and my son were doing. My mother is a very intelligent woman but highly manipulative. She convinced my girlfriend to visit them because my father is ill. My girlfriend said she didn't tell me because she knew I'd say no, and she wanted to see what kind of people my parents were. She brought our son but didn't leave him alone at first, but their visits got fairly regular, and she became comfortable with leaving him with my parents. He seemed fine, he even seemed to like it there, so she didn't feel like he was in danger. The first time she left my son fully alone was when she went Christmas shopping. I think from what I had told her about my childhood home, she expected a house of horrors, but according to her, the place was clean and fixed up, the dog was healthy, and my parents were nice. The thing is that she knew something happened to my sister. I never told her what happened to me, which I now see I probably should have done. She doesn't see predators everywhere like I do, and when my son didn't report anything negative, she saw no issue taking him and leaving him there. It's pretty clear that she doesn't know anything about abuse and what it can look like. I don't understand how she could think she'd be able to spot the signs with this little knowledge. My father has been in contact with children most of my life, and while I don't know if he's done anything to them, my sister always said he knew how to make children feel at ease. Both my parents are very methodical and calculating, so I don't blame her for believing them, but I blame her for not discussing this with me. She went to visit them after talking to my mother for a few days. Meanwhile, I lived there for 17 years, and somehow she thought she knew better than me. Even when I told her some details about my childhood, she still tried to push supervised visits, saying my father was ill and my son had a right to meet his grandparents, which I don't agree with at all. The thought of children being around these people makes me sick, but she seems reluctant to agree to officially limit their visitation rights. I'd need her agreement, however, unless I won a court case. I also tried to explain why this felt like a betrayal, because this is not just about putting my son in danger, it's also about her going behind my back for months. What else would she be capable of? Then she told my son to keep the visits a secret, which is exactly what abusers say too. She did apologize, saying she made an honest mistake and feels like I'm blowing this out of proportion and that her parents think so too. Besides, our son is fine, and I shouldn't have raised my voice at her mother and should be more grateful for what her parents have done for me and us over the years, which I am. I owe them, sure, but that doesn't mean they can just overrule my parenting decisions or get so involved. I feel like neither she nor her parents trust me or take me seriously, and it's so frustrating when the mother of your son is actively working against you. I don't think she can even grasp how terrified I was when I talked to my son about their visits. Again, I know it's my fault for not telling her everything, but I never thought she would do something like that. My past never really affected me much anyway. I never felt like there was a reason for her to know all the details. Honestly, I don't know if anything is resolved. I know why she made the choices she made, but I don't feel like she understands why I was, and still am, upset. She left after bringing up her mother because I got angry, and I know I shouldn't have, but I revealed something so big and still don't feel taken seriously. I want us to work, and she agreed that it would take a lot of work to get back to how things were before all of this, which I'm not sure is even possible. I apparently deeply upset her and scared our son. True, I never wanted us to fight in front of him like that either, and I angered her family. I think for me, emotionally, all feelings for her vanished the moment I found out, so that's kind of where I'm at now. I wish we could make it work for his sake, but I don't want him to grow up with dysfunctional parents or with his parents fighting every day. So if this doesn't work out, I'll need to get a lawyer. I'm willing to put in the work needed for us to stay together, but I've been doing a lot of thinking. We were so young when we started dating and had our son, and I'm not sure I ever thought about us staying together forever. I only stayed because I was living with them, and then I stayed because I didn't want to be a bad teen dad, abandoning my son and the girl I loved, because I really did love her, I think. Also, I am partially responsible for her being pregnant in the first place, before he was even born. As for my son, I have talked a lot with him these past few days. I had taught him about touch and what's okay and what isn't, so I just hope it's true that nothing happened. He has also apparently not seen anything inappropriate. Our fight got to him, though, and he knows I was sad and knows his mom is too. I hope he and I talked it out enough, and that my girlfriend gets to talk about this with him too. We might just sit him down or something. I'll need to talk to her about that. Update 2. Hello, everyone. I've had people reach out in DMs, and I'm sorry I didn't get back to you or answer any comments. I was just really overwhelmed by the attention my post received. Someone told me my post was shared to another sub, which I think led to an increase in people commenting and reaching out, so I kind of just gave up. I don't know how many people will see this post or if it will be shared. I think I would prefer if this got a little less traction, lol. Thanks for offering help and advice. I think I've read most of the comments, and a lot of it was really good advice, so I guess it was good that so many people saw it. I finally have some time to make another update. My son is alright. Thank God. I've been calling doctors and therapists until one of them, even though fully booked, offered to do an assessment. She even stayed longer at her office for us. She also, thankfully, gave me a bunch of resources and organizations I can reach out to. According to her, he doesn't display any warning signs of abuse. The physician who works with court cases said so too. I am incredibly relieved. I guess we can't be completely sure, and the past few weeks seem to have taken a toll on him, but at least the rest is alright. She has been recommending another therapist who lives a bit farther away, in case he has issues adjusting to us splitting up. So yeah, my girlfriend is now my ex. I don't even want to go into detail about all the things that have happened in the past few weeks. Honestly, this whole situation was just the last straw. Maybe it's a change of perspective after her betrayal, but I put up with her for way too long. As for how I am doing, I honestly don't know. I'm still incredibly overwhelmed, and it's starting to turn into physical symptoms of stress. This is, of course, not good for my son because he can sense that I'm sad and tired. I have hardly any motivation anymore, and I guess I'm really lucky that I have another person to care for. I don't know what I would be doing otherwise. He's pretty much the only thing keeping me together at this point. I'm worried he somehow feels responsible for me and the whole situation. He also frequently asks if everything is okay, but we've been reading books about parents splitting up and about mental health, and it seems to help him feel less anxious. I also got a lawyer. We have a custody plan, sort of. She is currently back to living with her parents, so we each have some space. We've been to a mediator, actually, and have talked about my childhood and everything that has happened these past weeks. Having someone else there to back me up and use scientific terms has apparently given me some credibility. Part of our custody agreement is that he won't be around my parents at all, which she actually agreed to right away. She still doesn't admit that she really messed up, but it's whatever at this point. I've made it really clear that I will take this to court if she ever goes behind my back again, and I'm going to go the official route as well to take away my parents' rights. I'm currently looking into that more. If they want to take this to court, I'm going to go public about their abuse, and I'm going to fight them, even with no proof. There's also the option of facilities where staff can monitor visits. If my parents manage to get visitation, I'll demand we do that. Thankfully, it looks like my ex and I have a somewhat peaceful separation. Things have been really difficult with her in private after I broke up with her, but it has calmed down now. We both want to remain on friendly terms, or at least not hostile, for our son. That won't work if we both fight for full custody. This also means I will not try to get full custody. I am already overwhelmed enough, and I'm scared it will just get worse the older my son gets and the closer he gets to the age I was when my father's abuse got bad. My lawyer thinks this is the best route too, but I will be collecting evidence against her just in case something happens. I might be paranoid, but I think it's normal after what has happened. People have been very kind, not just here online but also those around me. I made my last update feeling very hopeless, worried about my son, and having to take leave to deal with everything. There has also been my financial situation. My lawyer is doing this pro bono, and my bosses have offered their support when I informed them I needed leave to deal with a family emergency. I am going to figure out a work schedule, but I doubt I will still be able to work my job full-time in the future. Things will change once he goes to school, but I had just been given more responsibility at work, and was getting paid more, so I was planning on paying back my ex's parents. I'll have to put that off for now. I will also probably have to move, which is another stressful thing currently. Things aren't looking great, to be honest, but I at least don't feel as lost anymore. I will also be starting therapy. I knew I should have before, but I kind of procrastinated on finding someone for years. I think this might look good on paper, but above all, I think I need it, especially with everything going on. I hope therapy is going to help with the feeling of doom, lol, and there's a bunch of stuff I should be addressing, especially because I'm kind of figuring out how damaging this relationship with my ex has been. So yeah, that's it. I really think this is the best way to deal with this whole situation and the best outcome. Final update, I want to thank every single one of you for reaching out and sharing your own stories. I'm sorry for not being active and ignoring pretty much every DM I got. It means a lot to me, it's just a lot to reply to everyone. I've been meaning to make a post about our current situation. I even had a couple of drafts, but they never seemed good enough. But considering that I got about 20 DMs, I think it's time to make an update. My father was hospitalized in September and died at the beginning of October. It's been hard. I had a lot of conflicting feelings, especially because I didn't go to the hospital or his funeral. My sister didn't attend either. Our mother reached out, but she hasn't since. She hasn't even made any Christmas posts. I don't know what she's doing or where she is. I think she is currently with her mother, who has dementia and can't be left unsupervised. After his death, things got tough. I had issues dealing with everything. My ex and I had been trying to rekindle things, but I quickly realized it wouldn't work. I'm trying to heal from everything that happened at home, and during all of this, I started to see what had been going on in our relationship. We were both young, and she and her family were my easiest way out. I ended up in a situation similar to the one I had just gotten out of. It took me a while to accept that. Over the past few months, she's been doing things I don't agree with, and she's been going against pretty much every single agreement we made regarding custody. Her new boyfriend is going to be doing a cross-country move, and it looks like she's going with him. I'm glad, to be honest. It seems like she just wants to move past what happened between us, including our son, and I am currently in the process of getting full custody. They will move in 2 months. She agreed to give up legal and physical custody and pay child support. Although this hurts, and I know this is going to hurt my son, I think this is the best case scenario. She is bad at choosing partners and can't provide a safe environment for children, and I'm tired of fighting. I wish I had a less frustrating update, but this is just how things are. My son is doing well, all things considered. My sister and I moved to a bigger place. He has made friends with kids from the neighborhood and is doing well in therapy. He is angry a lot, but we're working through that. He has also started to get extremely picky when it comes to food, but that's apparently fairly normal. He also wants a dog, which is the only Christmas present I couldn't get him. But I hope he has everything he needs, and I'm trying to establish an open and honest relationship where he feels safe. He hasn't discussed anything alarming and hasn't mentioned anything in therapy or to my sister either. I am keeping an eye on him, and I just hope we manage to give him everything he needs and that, once he's older, he knows how to communicate if he ever needs anything else. The last time he saw his mom was on Christmas, but we are maintaining a somewhat good relationship with her parents. I am doing all right, I guess. I'm trying to work through everything, but because of everything else going on, I don't really have enough space to allow myself to feel anything besides stress. I have a new job now with flexible hours, and my sister and I are managing until he can eventually go to preschool. She and I have always been pretty close, and I'm grateful that we've gotten even closer. Her mental health has also improved, and even though it's been a lot on both of us, I think having a child around has really helped her improve. I am so incredibly grateful that I have so many supportive people in my life, including her, our neighbors, our new landlady, and all the strangers I got to meet online and in real life. I've experienced a lot of kindness over the past few months, and especially hearing that people are proud of me for standing up for my son and for how I'm managing has helped and stuck with me. I had initially left out the part about me and my ex briefly getting back together, but I decided to be honest here. I think because of therapy, and because I've been looking into how men deal with abuse and how little society pays attention to victims who aren't what they deem successful, I feel like I somehow have a chance to do something, even if this gets lost among everything else happening online. I guess that's it. I wish everyone who has reached out and shared their own struggles continued healing. I hope all of you have a pleasant 2026.